Okay, Abusunya latest update on former Chief Justice Tokono. Abusunya Osei ne removal na de onti ase wasan so akwa akopie mu e wo ECOWAS bill eno ene ya project e de ato ye screen no enchen e de amama no former Chief Justice Gertrude Tokono urges ECOWAS court to deliver judgment in her favor, insisting the Attorney General has failed to file a response to the case within the required time. Abusuya, and some former Chief Justice Gertrude Araba Saki Tokono asanso de akwako piemu ewo ECOWAS no or say one Attorney General no ne case be akokodio Attorney General na anya den in time no one respond na and some bebre nso na ebobo efree echiba nti when breaking news ankasa Kevin Taylor nso de ensem bi ababeto dwa mom yenko na yenko nkotie ensem Kevin Taylor de eto dwa efa afenyo markings Tokono relationship bi a eda omontema etese hypocrisy ahye ne ma mom yenko na yenko nkotie ensema odituja unsubscribe ya subscribe like na share ma afofron so ensa into me enka bi aha Ghana politics avenue so meramase
afenyo makina oye Tokono adamfo pa. It is so interesting, and you see, in some say no, we shouldn't joke with it. Sycophancy, hypocrisy, enkofo a omo ye hypocrite a omo kan okre no omo no mo say mine. Nipa on kan okre bia o dangerous. And this dey am ka just so MPP ni a on kan okre a na wo hia wo woni MPP ni on kan okre a. In fact, chechere MPP ni boduem because wo wono better than MPP ni on kan okre. And a typical example of a liar, a politician who is a liar, a sycophant and a hypocrite is this guy Akakaru right it ho. Your friend Afenyomakin, aka Kasungu, aka content creator. This guy has no respect for Ghanaians. This guy has nothing, your friend says, self-respect. Now, Madam Tokono, ever seen nobody in Ghana or say he or she does not agree with the decision of Madam Tokono being sacked as the Chief Justice of Ghana and also being sacked as a judge in Ghana. No? None of these people have been able to produce one document, one document, I just want to say they've not been able to provide one constitutional statement, anything that proves to say a kwai na Madam Tokono constitution didn't fast no sa kwan enya kwan pa. The argument has always been about moral argument. And the Madam Tokono issue, I free Supreme Court, it is not moral argument. We are talking about constitution and how the constitution was applied. So making a moral argument about Madam Tokono being sacked, or losing her job, it does not justify say Madam Tokono should not be sacked. Morally, you can decide to think the way you want to think, but until you are able to prove with evidence and facts to debunk or try to prove or disprove the constitution, say send your constitution you apply it's wrong, then you cannot. Until you are able to do that, you cannot sit anywhere else and tell Ghana for say Madam Tokono na ye no sebio Ghana ye boom raso a Ghana constitution and a two Tokono. It wasn't an individual. Article 1469 and then a share Ghana for a share a leader of the republic John Mahama to do what he had to do, because John Mahama ain't article 1469 and kasa constitution na between to John Mahama free so John Mahama is just a tool in the hand of the constitution. John Mahama is a tool. He is a pen in the hand of the constitution, the 1992 constitution of the Republic of Ghana. At this point, what the NPP seek to do now is to politicize Tokono's sack by the constitution. It is the constitution of the Republic of Ghana and the PAM Tokono. Now, it's so interesting. This Afenyomakin, not Owokrumha. Now, we are going to discredit you. We don't have time for banter. We will discredit with facts. Afenyomakin, in 2017, Nana Addo Akuffo eba power. when Nana Addo Akufo eyi Charlotte Osei a free a yes electoral commission. That was the first time in the history of the Republic of Ghana. Charlotte and EC boss president go through a process to sack her. A lot of people raised issues about how Charlotte Osei was treated and how she was not given the hearing ear. How Charlotte Osei was not given any room. Charlotte Osei and her two deputies. Even with that, people raising concerns, still Nana Addo Akufo went ahead to make sure say Charlotte Osei constitution na da hono. Sa constitution no any Charlotte Osei any the deputies edi. Afenyomakin went to sit on TV and he defended Nana Addo Akufo-Addo's action. He defended the 1992 constitution because Nana Addo Akufo-Addo and his government then based their actions on the 1992 constitution, Article 1469, to make sure Charlotte Osei is kicked out of power. And today, when you hear this content creator, this political liar, sit anywhere else to tell you, oh, we will deal with it at the right time. CJ's removal. There's nothing to deal with. Let's go and listen to Afenyomakin, the hypocrisy and the lies. You cannot trust these MPP people. This is how Afenyomakin defended the NPP when they came into power in 2017, how they used the constitution to get rid of Charlotte Osei. Yenti Afenyomakin.
Yes. You see, Uncle Kwekubako was very candid. See, the president knows the politics of this country. So he was very specific, made reference to the petition, unsigned petition, the subsequent communication he received from the council, and all that. So he left it as it was, which is fundamentally different from what my respected colleague was trying to put out.
In other words, the president made the Chief Justice aware of the deficiencies that may be in the original.
He left it as it.
He didn't just send it. He wrote a note and said, pay attention that these are the issues. And I'll leave it to your judgment.
Exactly. You see, we are talking about developing institutions. And if each time institutions try to assert themselves, we turn around to bastardize them, then I'm afraid we're not going to get anywhere. Is it the president who has removed Charlotte Osei? Or it's an institution that has done its work in accord with law and has thus made a recommendation for her exit? The NDC may not be happy because they appointed the woman to head NCC. They tried to push her to the Supreme Court. The Judicial Council did not agree. She was rejected, and eventually she was sent to the Electoral Commission. The MPP as a party opposed the procedure for the appointment of the EC chair, and I led the charge. Eventually in court, my client was Richard Sky. It was not Charlotte Osei. They shouldn't get it wrong. The MPP opposed the procedure. However, we looked after if the eventual appointment and the decision by the Supreme Court endorsing the procedure and all that. You remember I even raised the issue of contempt. That while the matter was yet to be tried, Mr. President had gone ahead to appoint an order, and I felt that it was not appropriate. But look, it didn't get anywhere. So when Charlotte was appointed, as a party, we had issues with her background. And we did not hide from that. Yeah. But it was not an NDC, MPP person. It was not Kennedy Japan. It was not Gabios Asardako who petitioned the president for the removal. Get it straight.
Yes, what's your Afenyomakin? Charlotte Osei, the time no, Akufo-Addo ba office na, omuye den, omuyi Charlotte Osei no, Osei, one, enya president ni yi Charlotte Osei, na eye constitution no ene yi Charlotte Osei. That was his statement. Osei petition na, omu troye na, omu jina so, ede pam Charlotte Osei as the EC boss no, enya gabi ochedako na troye. Enye bedie to na troye, enye obi na troye. And also kasa no say every time be a person you develop institutions, they will try to find a way to go after the institutions. You know what he was trying to say? He was trying to say, a buying take a decision to make sure say institution be being considered. Now say the right thing should be done. Now you near Ghana for your cassetia a decision na a buying eteki. Say presidency receive petition now or acting on the petition pe. Now you Ghana for we are fighting the presidency. This is the defense after your marking Etna TV so catch the Ghana for when Akuffo in 2017 it decided say I was set Charlotte Osei or Pamano every EC office. He made his point. In fact, see, at a point, Charlotte Osei the positions sleeping on the man na no MP before Tiasia no. Oma the last guy, the last guy, yeah, kwasi I'm paying the last guy. The last guy, yeah, after your marking, any Gabi Ochida couldn't call school, our UK. Sa kwasi the last guy, yeah, nan saying after your marking, yenya issue our parliament or the case in the court, no. LGBT anti-LGBT case, after your marking, man the court, the same the last guy. This is what they have been doing for years. But what I want you to understand and say, he made it clear, say, constitution no, constitution no, and then ye shall to say free ho. Na enye nanado dankwa Akuffo. That was the same thing when the Akuffo put his presidency on the line. These are the same people today. They are fighting Ghanaians. Adentina, Madame Charlotte, Madame Torkorno, also for the same process. They have a problem. Adentina Ghana for your penny. Why are we allowing it? It is political. We need to create a new law to protect some people at some very important places. This is the same after your marking. Otna news for catch the Ghana for say. It is not the president who sacked Charlotte. It was the 146 article 146.9 and known as sack Charlotte Osei. Into why are we saying say Akuffo in the Pamo Charlotte Osei? John Dramani Mahama allowed the 146.9, the same 146.9 our constitution to go through. The due process was adhered to. But also and then kwasi afo we MPP for we opportunity. No man catch Ghana for say John Mahama Pamo Torkorno. But when they were sacking Charlotte Osei, using the same procedure, the same due process, the same 1992 constitution, the same 146.9, they said Nana the Danko Akuffo did not sack Charlotte Osei. Now in fact, a constitution and a sacking Charlotte Osei. Kwasia we ba betina TV so ochina. Obebo tai fibi abeka catch Ghana for say or a minority leader onimunyansa chen. This is a filthy liar. The law is the law. And this is something they have been doing for years. When we talk on what we start here, the NPP deliberately decided to politicize it. But to date, they have not been able to state one article that the due process, and I say the constitutional president will be a breaking any law when it comes to the process now. They have not been able to cite one infraction. They have not been able to cite one infraction. They have not say Samra way the president buso, Samra way the nipa way buso, entina Madame no sake no, it is not right. They have not been able to do that. The same procedure, the same due process, Akuffo Ede Charlotte Osei femu no, the same due process and na Torkorno femu, and so almost say Akuffo the end there. Na a constitution the pamon Charlotte Osei, but Torkorno the end there. Mahama na nimu Harry. Odena yeteni enti yamfansha Mahama enkwasiafo mawe enende omudi MPP nenim. They have no principle. They are not people you can trust. They don't have the intelligence to be honest. They see every single Ghanaian and say ye Jimmy. Until every time when they get the opportunity, they just want to lie and think say we will absorb it and just follow them like sheep. So what is credible about this guy? What is credible about this guy that Ghana ni awokosko onimunyansa onkosko onimunyansa Ghana ni otoaba? Why should any Ghanaian onimunyansa listen to this idiot? Because they are the same thing, but he's trying to justify one and trying to make one somebody's intentions. He's justifying one. But when it comes to Akuffo decision he took, it wasn't Akuffo's fault. It was the constitution. But when it comes to John Mahama's situation, when the John Mahama allowed the due process, John Mahama allowed the constitution to work. It is not the constitution, it is John Mahama. This is the kind of dirty politics and kwasiafo way ya. Enti every day biano, their numbers keep dropping. And Messi Megu party no 2028 Megu no. Because of these fools. Because of kwasiafo way, onyankopon wasoro a ode nyansa duame mitirimu no Megu party no Megu no flat. Because me say continuously no these people the sense of entitlement and foolishness no it did the. Now let me show you one sad thing happening in Ghana, and it's got to do with Madam Sophia Akuffo, the former Chief Justice of Ghana. Madam Sophia Akuffo also is on a journey, and the journey she's on are two destinations. One is to please her NPP that appointed her and made her a Chief Justice. And two, to try and discredit the same Council of State she is a member of, indirectly trying to embarrass the government. This old lady is on a journey to blow herself up. I respect her a lot. The capacity and position I was feeling, every time you are interested to hear what she has to say. Because at a point, this woman was in charge of all the laws. She was the headquarters of law. She led the judiciary. She was seen as somebody who would take her time, reason, go through the basic thinking process before she makes a submission or speaks. But interestingly enough, Madam Sophia Akuffo, she has decided to go on a trip. She believes that trip, the fallout she had with the MPP, it is going to incite or it is going to bring back that sympathy the NPP they have for her. And I say that fallout she had with the MPP, time and DDEP issued by now or Kasatia on one and she now feels say she needs to be accepted again because party nigu and she wants to be on their good side. The second part of her journey is to discredit the Council of State position now or Timuno. She wants to discredit the Council of State, which indirectly she wants to use that to discredit the presidency. And I see that as a very sad situation. Because Madam Sophia Akuffo is a very intelligent woman. The only thing about this woman or Madam Akuffo is that the sense of entitlement, she feels this sense of entitlement. Our idea be say she is intelligent than anybody in Ghana. She's full of herself, with all due respect. She believes say asamoba na okebia obia submission bi obekebia no sa nipa no ejimi. She is the only intelligent person. Even when she's
okay, Abusawene and Sama Ekoso, our political highway is suspended a year. Former Chief Justice Tokono and Wasanso Aquaco PMO ewo a ECOWAS court. I'll say the removal and the on Tiasi. You better must say Moje Penecotisa in some way at my Ghana politics avenue. So unsubscribe, subscribe, like and I share my Afro from so answer into me and don't forget to click on the notification bell. Send any updates be able drop piano. So unsa a bit to me aka madam.